Welcome back. We are here in 712 with the Yukiyama family. In the last one, we did lose our first baby, which would have been a boy, and also Haru lost her baby, but Hanami did succeed to have a daughter. These two are pregnant again. We're pretty sure we're not pregnant again. So that is what's going on there. And in the last one, we also lost Daitaro. He was poisoned by his son, who didn't want him to make up with Akiteru. And right now, nobody knows that. So there is definitely some drama incoming over that. But as for roles, since we're pretty early on in this, we don't have that many roles, so it's just Asano, Takesaka, and we will be saying goodbye to Matsu this year. Matsu is over here. We'll be saying goodbye to her this year. And yeah, so let's just see, 4, 8, 12, or 16. Again, I made these rules a little more difficult because the era is shorter. So she did survive to become a toddler. How great. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. Okay, so Asano Takesaka. Oh my gosh, the same year that a few other people have birthdays. So hopefully we'll have some more babies this year that can continue on. But that is pretty much it for this intro part. It'll continue to get longer as we get more Sims, but for right now, this is what we got. Let's hop into the game. So here we are in the game. We have just lost our baby, but we are going to keep trying for more because the odds of having a successful baby are really low in this game, which is my own fault. I don't know who I'm trying to blame because it's my fault I made these rolls. But because of that, we have to really try to always be pregnant because we need lots of children to survive. And, we'll do our best here to make that happen. So Matsu is just cooking something for the family. And this one, I am focusing a little bit more on trying to keep their needs up as well. So we'll see if that kind of translates over to my other save, but we'll cross the bridge when we get there. So here we are, and we have Akiteru doing his usual, trying to get his wellness up, trying to do all of those things that samurai do. So we're very excited for him. And he's going to take a bath. We are also selling artwork that does not look like it is from this country, but we're just going to do our best here. And everyone, I was looking at their whims, and everyone wants to go volunteer with family, so I thought that maybe that would be a nice thing to go do. We had Kyoyoshi doing an odd job, and he didn't want to volunteer with family, so I didn't send him, but of course then once he got home, he started saying he wanted to. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So then we have Ginkgo calling, and let's say that she sent a letter or something, but she keeps calling and she keeps trying to contact them. She has headed over, and Kaede is hello, and she's like, where is he? I need to speak with him. And so she starts her rampage through our house. Kyoyoshi's still in his pajamas, so Akiteru comes out and she starts screaming at him, and he's like, what is happening? And she's just basically your father was poisoned, and I know it was you were trying to get revenge on our family. And Akiteru was like, what are you talking about? Because obviously we know that he didn't do that. We know that it was Shintaro, but Ginkgo doesn't know that it was her son. So, of course, in her mind, the first suspect is the disowned child who is trying to, get back in their good graces. And she's just kind of like, you knew that you would never become the heir, and so you killed him, and blah, blah, blah. And they're really arguing with each other. And he's just like, I would never do that. I don't know what you're talking about. If he was poisoned, I don't know anything about it. So they're just arguing over it, and she just kind of storms off and says, you'll regret doing this. So he's just like, that lady is crazy. But if you think about it, right, with the kind of character that she is, it makes sense that she would blame him, because her perfect baby angel son isn't going to be someone who would do something like that, right? Anyway, so we do have some babies being born. We have actually Shintaro has his second daughter, and it's really interesting too because he's just had his second daughter, and both of his kids have survived. Nobody else has had a surviving kid except for him, and he's had two. Isn't that wild? Because then, again, Haru just has a daughter, and her daughter does not survive. So we're having those two woohoo again. But yes, we have Takeya Takesaka. I thought that was kind of funny that her first name and her last name are very similar. But yes, we have her, and then we have a baby from Haru that did not survive. And then I'm going to just update all of this stuff here. And then again, we will roll for Koryo and see if she also is going to have a baby. She needs to roll a 1 on a d4. So we'll see if she is going to be able to have another child with her husband. And we are going to get everyone pregnant again. So let's do that. Pregnancy start, okay, and she did. She rolled a 1, so she is going to have another baby with her husband. So we'll see what happens there. Unfortunately, though, when I had initially made her, I made it so that she couldn't get pregnant because I didn't want her accidentally getting pregnant without my control. So I'm going to have to get her pregnant at the end of this because I need to go into create a sim and then make her able to get pregnant and all that stuff. But we will get her pregnant too. So we'll see. Maybe she'll have a son and kind of push Haru out of the family. We don't know yet. So here everyone is. And of course, poor Matsu saw everything that happened yesterday and is like really stressed about it. She's very stressed about it. But her daughter is cloud gazing with her and they're just, enjoying time. So today is Obon. So we are going to be kind of respecting the dead and, going to a ceremony at the temple and lighting some candles. I know that it's not really a menorah, but I didn't know what else to put for the holiday activities, so that's what I put, that they were going to light a menorah. Honestly, none of the holidays have, holiday activities that I feel like actually make sense for the holiday, besides, going to a holiday ceremony. So I'm just doing my best within the confines of the game to make it make sense, even though it kind of doesn't. But anyway. Oh, are you feeling sick? Oh my gosh, she's feeling a little, or maybe she's hot. It's hot out. Okay, so here we're all going to go light the candles. Yay! And then we need to go to a holiday ceremony. Let's send everyone out. And of course, we're here by ourselves. But I think that, they're kind of noticing while they're at the temple that some people are giving them some awkward looks and maybe some rumors are being spread by Ginkgo about them. And so anyway, but it is the day to respect the dead. So they are actually going to head over to the Takesaka household, even though Akitaro kind of knows he's not welcome there, but his father just died and he wants to honor his father, who he was trying to rebuild a relationship with and all of that stuff. So he is going to go over there anyway, even though he knows that his stepmother is crazy and doesn't like him. And, so he's just going to go over anyway so that he can mourn his father properly. And it looks like everybody is here. But that's okay, because it makes sense that Haru would come as well. That's also her father. So everyone is going to come and mourn Daitaro. And we are also going to talk to Haru for the first time in a while. It's been a while since we saw her, so let's chat with her a little bit and hang out with her. It looks like her whole family came, so I guess that's, a supportive husband for you. And we can't see her, but she is standing there. Somehow she is not visible to us. But yes, so she is standing there, and Akitaro is just kind of catching up with her, and she's just kind of like, Mom said that you killed Dad, and he's like, I don't know what she's talking about. And so then she comes over, of course, to start yelling at him again. And she's just in hysterics. To be fair, her husband did just die, and she suspects murder, and she's feeling very a lot. And so, okay, there you are, Haru. But anyway, so she's going to be screaming at him again and causing a total scene on this, day that is supposed to not be focused on this kind of tomfoolery. But anyway, so that kind of causes Heijiro to be like, what is happening over here? And Haru's like, oh my god. Like, you know, like she doesn't want to be embarrassed in front of her husband, and especially not in front of her sister wife, because Koryo already hates her and is looking for anything to mock her with. But anyway, so we're going to head home, but it kind of has gotten Heijiro involved a bit because he is, you know, the person who represents the Taira clan in this area. And there are lots of people who would be willing to take his place, and if he shows any weakness, and his wife's family killing each other is definitely something that could cause a problem for him. So I think that he is starting to pay a little attention to what's going on here. Like, oh, was he really murdered? Like, should I look into this a little more? So that is definitely something that's coming up. And we're all going to eat something. And we are going to see if we can't take care of a few things here. Yeah, you got to get cleaned up. You got to get cleaned up. Everybody needs a bath at the same time, always. She's eating for 2. Okay, we're having a baby again. The baby will probably not be born until the next part anyway, because I think the year is over on Thursday. So yeah. But anyway, they are feeling good. They're going to have a celebratory woohoo to get their fun and social up. And yeah, so I'm actually just going to move this because I want to move this door into a common area because they kept seeing things they didn't want to see walking through the other bedroom to get to the bathroom. So I'm just going to move that door. And then Matsu is going to get sick. She's going to like be very ill. And Kyojoshi's like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And she's like, it's just the stress. Like, it's just because, you know, obviously she was a very proper lady. She was a wealthy lady, and she left everything to be with the man that she loved. And that was very humiliating for her family, and that is something that she has a lot of feelings about. But she like wouldn't trade her family for anything. And so her just like being at a holiday ceremony and being, you know, whispered about and then being like yelled at and having this big scene be made around her family, and it's just like all a lot of stress for her, and she's just really feeling not well about it. Like, she is just, the stress is getting to her. She cannot handle it. She doesn't have a good constitution. Maybe she has some underlying conditions, but she is just really not well because of all of this. So anyway, Heijiro stops by the house. So we're going to go talk to him. And he's like, Akiteru's like, hello? Like, what are you doing here? And Heijiro's look, I have done some investigation, and it turns out your father was murdered. So I am looking into the case. You are the number 1 suspect. And Akiteru's like, I can't be a suspect. I wasn't there. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I would never. And he's like, well, you do have motive. Like, you were disowned and all this stuff. And Akiteru's like, no, we were mending our relationship. Everything was going great. Like, blah, blah, blah. And Heijiro's like, look, bud, I'm just going with what I got. Like, I need to wrap this up quickly because I don't want any shame to be brought to my family because I don't want to lose my position. So, and of course, everyone's paying attention to Matsu, who's not feeling well. But, yeah, so they're just like, oh my gosh, like, are we really going to get in trouble for something we didn't do? Like, keep in mind, way back when, like, the criminal justice system was not really based on a ton of evidence. Like, it's not like they had DNA or you know, could analyze the poison or like any of that stuff. Like, they can't do that stuff. I mean, maybe they could try and figure out kind of what type of poison it was, but anyway, so Matsu is just still not doing well. She's like, oh my gosh, my entire family is going to be like arrested and executed or something. And she's just like beside herself with what is going on, and everything is breaking, and she's having a really hard time. I feel really bad for her. So anyway, we are all going to eat and talk about this. You know, Kaede is trying to stay cool for the baby, but they are just talking, and Kyoyoshi is like, don't worry, like, we'll figure this out, like, we're honorable men, we'll, you know, it'll be okay. But then in the night, Matsu passes away. So obviously she had some kind of pre-existing condition, maybe like an aneurysm, or maybe she was having a heart attack and she brushed it off as stress. Like, there could have been a million things that actually happened to her, but I'm sure they all think that the stress of the situation was what killed her. And so they're all very, very upset over this. I mean, it's just a nightmare, especially for Kyoyoshi, that his wife passed away in the night. And of course, Kaede, whose mother never got to meet any of her grandchildren. She never got to do any of that stuff and be a part of the family like that. So it's just really tough, and they're just all very in mourning about it. And so Akiteru's like, oh my gosh, like, I gotta figure something out because we cannot keep living like this. Like, we can't be worried that this is happening, and like, we can't have our family fall apart because of these false accusations and all of that stuff. So that's what's going on there. I am going to update the family tree, and we'll get Matsu, the rest of her biography in there, and then we'll also get her picture changed and all of that. So we are going to just change this. I mean, look at how pretty she is. Oh, goodbye, Matsu. Goodbye. She was perfect. So she has passed away, and we are going to just keep going here. While pregnant with her second child, her husband was accused of blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, I'm updating everyone's place in the family tree. Obviously, Shintaro is glad that all of the heat is on Akiteru and not on him. He's thinking he can get away with it. Haru is kind of confused. Like, she doesn't feel like Akiteru would do something like that. She always, like, had kind of a soft spot for her brother. Like, she realized that he wasn't treated very well in their family, and so I think that she has some empathy for him. And so maybe she's telling her husband, like, hey, you know, I wish you would make sure you're very thorough, because we want to make sure that the right person is punished for the problem. And of course her husband probably brushes her off, but she tries anyway. So there is that. And we are painting. We are just doing all of our stuff. But yes, I'm just updating everything. And we only have a couple minutes left of this video. So I'm just, getting all of my housekeeping done. These videos are a little shorter because we don't have as many roles and stuff to do for them. That'll increase over time. Obviously, we'll have more roles and more events and all of that stuff. So Heijiro, yes, is looking into the issue because he wants to make sure that none of it can kind of smear his name or his problems. So that is what's going on there. And we are going to, even Koryo is happy that, she is happy that Haru's family is totally falling apart. So that is good for her. So now we are going to head out. Haru has contacted Akiteru and is like, hey, can we talk? But unfortunately it ended up being a club gathering. So he feels kind of ambushed. He didn't think that he would be able to have all of these people here right now. Like, okay, please don't burn to death. But anyway, he was kind of ambushed. He thought that he was just meeting Haru, but it was everyone, and Haru's just kind of like, just relax. Like, I know that you're doing this, but you need to still be seen out and about. You need to show that you're innocent and all of that stuff. So she is just trying to help him in her little ways, but he is not very appreciative of the ambush. So that's what's going on there. And we are then going to come here, and we're going to change it so that Koryo can have children, and so that Asano is now a toddler. Again, I kind of messed up her age at the beginning, so I had to forcibly make her a toddler. And then we also have Takeya, who is the infant. Of course, the only family having children. It's so funny that they are the only ones doing well on their roles. That is kind of hilarious. So we are then going to update everyone's pictures and everything. So we are going to do that, and that is pretty much it. We're also going to get Koryo pregnant, and that will be where we'll wrap up. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Sorry, I got a little distracted at the end. My dog is like, pet me. She wants to be pet. But yeah, so we're going to get everyone pregnant and do everything that we're supposed to get ready for the next year. In the next year, probably nothing too exciting is happening. I mean, let me check. Is somebody else dying next year? I have to know. Yes. Oh my gosh, Ginkgo is dying next year, so that'll be interesting for this whole story. So we'll see see what happens with Ginkgo. So I hope that you're excited for that, and I'll catch you in the next one.